What is going on, everybody? You already know it is Friday night. It is time on Out of the Box Sports Entertainment, found on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. It is Inside the Octagon. My name is Paul Spencer, and that man right there is the man himself, Josh Gordon. What's going on, Josh? Josh, you're muted.
My bad, buddy. How you doing?
There we go. There we go. Good, man. How you been? I know you're under the weather too, huh?
Yeah, it's that time of the year.
Man, I honestly feel like we went to the Apex Center and got that virus. All these fighters again, man. Because I was knocked out last week. You got it this week, man. Man. At least you're feeling a little bit better to do the show tonight as well as myself. So glad we're back at this, man.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. Real quick, what did you think real quick of last week? Did you catch last week? I was in and out, man. I was so sick, did you catch any of the last week's event?
Yeah, I watched the I watched last week's fights. It was pretty good. I had some company over watching it with me. We were going back and forth and the Josh Emmett fight was very, very fun. It was
I did see that one, yes.
I was hoping, I was rooting for him. He was the underdog, and Lerone Murphy ended up taking it by decision. They went all 5 rounds, and I thought Josh Emmett was going to knock him out, and he didn't. Yeah. So,
I wanted to ask you that because I knew you were going to mention that event. How do you feel about Lerone Murphy? I love this kid. He's up and coming, dude. He's good. If he picks it up and continues and progresses, this could be something in the future for this kid. He looks good.
Yeah, and I don't know. He's got to get more entertaining. I mean,
Josh
Emmett really, he really made that fight. Even though he won, Josh Emmett made that fight. He was the entertaining fighter there, and I don't know. We had a boring fighter like that, a long time ago, and
right.
Tyron Woodley. He was, they kind of fight the same, and
sure.
I don't know if we need another champion like that.
No, but UFC is like that cup of tea. Everybody likes what they see. Sometimes the boring fighters, hey, it's all about the win column. You get that W win, I mean, fighters nowadays don't care because, Josh, we've seen it. God, you can beat the shit out of somebody 3 rounds and lose a 4th and 5th in a championship, and you're going to lose the fight because the judges, you want that. You want that little asterisk where you get, ground and pound, grappling, ground control, because that goes a long way too. But I just like this kid the way he fights. I think the future's bright for this kid. I really do. He's young, but speaking of young, man, we got to talk about your fight here. You picked this one this week. God, man, 41-year-old Jim Miller, man. Can we talk about this guy? I mean, you opened it with this one. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, no, I'm a huge fan of Jim Miller, man. He's been in the UFC forever. He's fighting another young guy, Chase Hooper. I don't know if he's going to come out on top in this one. What do you think about it?
I got Chase on this one here. I mean, listen, 25 years old versus 41 years old. I get the age difference. It's UFC. But man, I mean,
Bobby Green did piece him up, and Bobby Green's not even in the UFC anymore. So, and I think Chase Hooper is better than Bobby Green.
Yeah.
So, Chase Hooper's still working his way up. He's young. He's got grappling on his side. I wouldn't be surprised if he took Jim down and tired him out. I mean, Jim does have that dog in him. He did knock out that one kid a couple of years ago, and but he looked really bad in that Bobby Green fight. He looked very slow. He couldn't get started against them. And Bobby Green, he's not what he once used to be. He shined in that Jim Miller fight, but then we see what happened to him with Paddy Pimblett, and then this last fight with Mauricio Rufy.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I think Chase Hooper's going to get this one, man. I don't think Jim stands a chance, even though he's.
How do you think it's coming down? I mean, are you thinking that's going to be a knockout? What are you looking at? Because before you do that, I'm going to give you your odds here, man. I tell you what,
like minus 800 or something.
Ooh, I mean, if you take Jim Miller, you're going to bank out at plus 675. That's just the money line to win. That's it, just to win. So, man, I mean, I think it was. Yeah, what is it? Oh God, it's minus 1050 here, man, for the money line versus on Chase here. So
that's crazy.
I mean, you bet $1, you're going to win $7 on Jim Miller, but I just don't see that happening, Josh. I think this is going to be. You think it's going to go the distance on here? Is Miller going to go?
Maybe it can, and if it does go to the distance, I think Chase Hooper's just going to be holding them down. Getting control time. Chase Hooper did really good in his last fight.
Mm-hmm.
Who was his last? I remember watching
Clay Guida.
Clay
Clay.
Guida. That's
Yeah.
right,
Mhm.
and he tapped
Yep.
Clay Guida out. And
Yeah.
Clay Guida isn't really a joke. Clay Guida is another one of those older
Mhm.
guys. So Chase Hooper's been here before too. He
Yeah.
has experience being in there with the vets. He was in there with Clay Guida, and he got him out there pretty quickly. And Clay Guida ain't a guy to mess around with. So I think Chase Hooper is going to be able to do the same. He's going to mimic what he did to Clay Guida, to Jim Miller,
Exactly.
and yeah. I think Jim's going to take the L. You think he's going to retire after this one, or you think Jim Miller's got more fights in him?
Josh, we said that during the last fight. Remember that? We talked about that the glove's going to go down after that last fight. But this is
Well,
Jim Miller, man. I mean, he might be fighting to UFC 400, brother. We don't even know. I mean, this dude, I don't know. I can't.
it'd be
I
fun.
don't know, man. I mean, I don't think he's going to retire, Josh. I think he's just one of those dudes. I mean, 36 and 18, Josh, 54 fights in the UFC, man. I mean, that's something spoken for right there. And you're going against Chase with him 15 and 3 here, but I'm gonna go. Think it's gonna be a decision. I think it's gonna be a unanimous decision for Chase here. I'm gonna go that way there. I think he can go the distance, but like you said, I think it's gonna be a lot of I don't think it's gonna be crotch sniffing this week. Do you?
Maybe. I mean, we do have like heavy grapple guys. I mean, we have
Yeah,
Patricio Pitbull, we have Bryce Mitchell, we have Janjaroba. She's
yeah.
she's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu
Hmm.
woman. Maybe. I think so. I think we're gonna see a lot of ground time this weekend.
Gotcha.
I think so.
Foster checking in. He does the Bears podcast. Please check him out as well. What's going on, Foster? Appreciate you checking in. All three for me here. Faking Foster. That's one of your boys, isn't it, Josh?
Maybe.
Okay, there we go. We are all in the house. Mo Lester. And also we got Foster Cover saying Jim Miller, quarterback for the Bears. Just joking, guys. Hey, listen, hey, you never know. My man's a legend, dude. He's been in the UFC for so long. You ain't gonna knock him out. He's been through everything. So who knows? Foster, never know, man. Never know. So okay, I'm gonna write all this down here, Josh. We definitely got a win for Chase here, correct? There's no way in hell
Yeah.
that
There's
Jim
a
Miller's
reason
gonna win this,
he's
right?
minus 1,000 at the moment. So yeah, we're gonna go Chase Hooper.
I don't know how long it's been since I've seen a minus like 800 plus on this one here, a minus 1050, man. Like, God, dude, like, wow, that's insane. That really is.
I
That
think
really
the
is.
last one I saw was that really young fighter Peyton Talbot. He was like a
Oh,
minus
yes, yes, yes.
1,400, and then he
Okay.
ended up being like the biggest upset of the year.
Yeah,
Which
exactly.
yeah.
Anything? Are we saying anything can happen here though, or are we going to
No, no,
say
no, no.
both?
I was just comparing the last time we saw minus 1,400. That
Gotcha,
was a
gotcha,
completely different situation.
gotcha. All right, how about we move on to the main card here tonight? Let's move on to it. It's a light heavyweight match here. We got Crichton versus Reyes here. How do you feel this
Yeah,
one here? I
man.
mean, 30 and
Um,
9 versus 14 and 4. I mean,
yeah. Dude, Dominic Reyes, he's a beast, man.
yeah,
He fought John Jones. That's all you got to say about him. And he
mhm.
did, come off of those. He did have those couple of losses. He lost to Yuri with that spinning elbow, but he did
Yeah. He
come
lost to
back.
what Spawn, and then I think Jan as well. 3 back-to-back losses there, but
Yeah,
big fighters, dude. I mean,
yeah,
KTL
they're all
there.
big fighters, but he
Yeah,
he came back. He came
mhm,
back, and Krylov, he's an older guy, and he's been in there for a little bit. He's 30-9.
yeah,
I'm gonna go with Dominic Reyes in this one just because I'm a really big fan. I know Krylov is the favorite right
hmm,
now.
yeah.
I can see him winning, but I'm just such a big fan of Dominic Reyes that I'm just gonna go over him just because of bias. What about you, man? What do you think about Krylov?
He just came off a loss to Chase, honestly. In the first round of submission to him. I mean,
Yeah,
after that, you got the win versus what it was a Victor Martinez. I think he won, first round TKO. But then he fought Patty Pimlet, and that really was a first round submission as well. I like Reyes here. I mean, Josh, I mean, these older fighters fighting these young guns here, pretty average size, 6'3" versus 6'4". But I got to go with Reyes here. I mean, the way he looked versus Anthony Smith, he's fought some big dudes, Spawn, Jan, and Yuri in there. And he held his own. I mean, even though he got knocked out in round 1, 2, and round 2 against, Jan as well. But I got to go with Reyes here, man. I mean, it's
yeah,
actually
you're
a
gonna go with
close
the
fight.
underdog.
Yeah, I'm going to
I
go
think
dog here, Josh, because we're looking at Reyes being a plus 136 here. I think that's a smart bet, honestly. I mean, it's not big, but you're doubling your money at 136. How do you feel? Are we going to go submission or are we going to get a TKO here or a decision?
Decision.
Okay.
I'm gonna say a decision. Just if I were a betting man, I would like Dominic Reyes to get the KO. I'd like for him to knock this guy out.
Hmm.
He might not. It might just be like a clinch fest. I don't know. Because these guys are a little bit older and they are light
Yeah.
heavyweight.
Hmm.
But then again, they do have knockout power. They are light heavyweight again. So
That's true.
yeah, yeah. If I'm gonna bet on it, I'm gonna say Dominic Reyes decision.
Okay.
But I would like for him to get the KO. What about you? You think it's going to go?
I think it's gonna be a decision, Josh. I think
You
we're
think
gonna
it's
go
going to be a
decision
decision
here.
as well?
Unless somebody get that one sting in there, just drop them a little bit. Then you can, then you can just jump on them and attack. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be a decision here. What I want to ask you, I mean, in the light heavyweight here, I mean, it's stacked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, really. Going down to like Jamal Hill, Roundtree, Reyes sits at 10 here. If
Mhm.
he wins this in a dominating fashion against an older guy, what are we looking at from him? He's sitting at 10 here, Josh. I mean, does this push him? It can't push him in the top five. He cannot jump over. He can't jump over, a Jamal Hill, Berg, or a Roundtree. Can he?
No,
He
he's
can't,
got to
right?
work his way back up, and if he doesn't, then he's just probably going to be one of those guys who's a gatekeeper, and he's just got probably going to stay in that like 9, 10, 11 range.
Yeah,
Probably fighting guys coming up. That's if he can win his. That's if he loses his next couple of fights. He probably be gatekeeping, especially at the age he is and everything.
yeah,
But if he ends up winning, then yeah, he's got to work his way up. He's number 11 ranked. He's got to.
mhm,
He's fighting Krylov. Krylov's number 8.
yeah,
He's got. This is him working his way up. He's got to fight. Yeah, I think Jamal Hill and Khalil Roundtree's fighting.
yeah.
Maybe the winner of this fights the winner of that. I don't know.
All right, so you're gonna put it if he wins this, fight here. Whoever wins this fight is probably gonna move up 6, 7, most likely. It
Yeah,
depends.
yeah,
Okay. How do you feel about them matching up versus Hill or Roundtree? Either way.
that'd be very fun. Did I don't think Dominic Reyes fight Roundtree, did he?
No, I don't think he did
He
actually. I
didn't.
wrote some of the fights
Oh.
down. I don't think he did actually. No, not in his last
That would be pretty
6 fights.
fun. Dominic Reyes versus Khalil Roundtree. With the
Mhm.
way Khalil Roundtree fights and the way Dominic Reyes fights, I feel like that'd be pretty bloody. Khalil Roundtree might come out on top of that one,
Yeah,
but that'd be pretty fun fight. Dominic Reyes, Khalil Roundtree. I don't know if that will ever happen, but I'd fucking
great.
watch that.
Yeah, I want to see that one too. I like that one. Like, the matchup style with those two, I kind of like that one there.
Yeah,
So
yeah, pretty fun.
you're gonna go decision, right? You're gonna go decision here, correct? With me?
Yeah, yeah, I'm a good
Are,
decision.
are we gonna go split or are we gonna go unanimous?
Split.
Split. Okay.
Especially because like they're light heavyweights. The
Yeah.
first round, who knows who's going to take it, but it's that third round's going to be really tough. If it does come down to a decision.
I think it's gonna
Um,
be one of those free for alls, huh?
yeah, yeah, I think it's going to be split.
Okay. Okay. Well, but there was one event that was canceled here. Jeff Neal versus Carlos Parati. How do you feel about that being canceled? I mean,
Oh,
was
dude,
that?
that's so
Was that?
upsetting, especially the
Yeah.
hype that Carlos Prates has coming up, man.
Yes.
A part of the fighting nerds. Gene Silva is a part of his camp, and
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, that's just very upsetting. But we get a fight between him and Ian Gary, so that's also
Yes.
really fun.
Hmm.
Which is a 5 round main event that's going to be on a fight night, and yeah, I take
Did they
that.
already
I'll
announce the date?
take
They already
that
announced the date for that,
combination.
Josh? Did they announce the date for that one already?
Yeah, I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know. I just know he's fighting Ian Gary. I
Okay.
didn't pay attention when.
Sounds good. How you feel about that match? So who's going to take that one there? I mean, I like that matchup.
Oh, dude,
The
that's so
five
good. I
rounds.
really don't know. I'm not going to say yet. I'll say when we cover it on our next podcast,
Sounds
so I
good.
can dwell
Sounds
on it
good.
and think about it more.
Sounds good. All right, let's move on to this match here. I mean, this is kind of intriguing to me. Okay, Yair Rodriguez versus the Pitbull here. I mean, Pitbull makes his debut. You talk about I think it was a couple weeks ago. Bellator is a different animal here, where he's
Yeah.
coming to the main stage here, the UFC Octagon. 36-7 Pitbull, okay, versus Yair Rodriguez, 20-6 here. How do you feel with this one here? Where are you going with this one, Josh? I'm curious to hear this
Um, I mean, Yara Rodriguez is a very good test for Pitbull. Pitbull did very good in Bellator.
one. Yes.
He did
Yes.
very, very well.
Hmm.
We'll just have to see. Michael Chandler tried coming over from Bellator, and
Hmm.
you see what happened to him. He was a very entertaining fighter.
Yep.
Pitbull's a very entertaining fighter. We'll just have to see. I think this is going to be a very fun fight. I think Yair Rodriguez is going to hold it over him. I think
Hmm.
UFC guys are just better than those Bellator people, and
Agree.
I think, I think Pitbull's out of his elements. I think he's going to lose his MMA UFC debut. What about you,
I,
man? What do you think?
I agree, man. I think you look at competition wise. Bellator Rising. Okay, that's a different animal here. You're coming to the big stage here in the Octagon, but you look at Rodriguez's last five fights, man. Last two are L's, of course, but we get that. Brian Ortega, third round sub. Alexander Volkanovski was in the main event tonight. He lost that one in a 3-round TKO, but he's fought Josh Emmett. Then he beat Ortega in the first round, and then he goes to Max Holloway and takes him to the limit of 5 rounds too. So experience plays a big part here. And the biggest
Yeah,
thing to me, Josh, I didn't even notice that. I did not know that Rodriguez's reach is 72 inches versus Pitbull at 65. That's a 7-inch reach. Huge advantage to me. Like, man, I mean, you're
yeah,
five.
but they don't call him Pitbull for nothing.
That's true. I mean, Pitbulls like
You
to
know.
attack. I mean, okay, is there a way that Pitbull wins this fight? I mean, Pitbulls like to get nasty, Josh. I mean, what do you see?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I I think it'll be very entertaining. I think
Hmm.
it'll be very entertaining, but I think Yair Rodriguez comes out on top. He's fought for the UFC belt before.
Yeah, yeah.
He's I don't know, man. I think UFC experience beats Bellator experience, and I think Yair is going to make it. I think Rodriguez is going to get that dub.
Yeah, I think the only way that's he's just going to live up to his name, Pitbull here, because I mean you're talking a five height, 5-inch height advantage, 7-inch read advantage, and really you're thinking about God 20 fights in the UFC here already, basically for
Yeah,
Yair. The experience goes a long way. I mean, but momentum carries a big shifting advantage too. Nobody really knows how you're going to perform in the UFC in your debut here, and all the hype coming from this guy, dude. I mean, you never know. I mean, you look at the odds here; it's not bad. I mean, Rodriguez is only a minus 192. If you take Pitbull, you're at plus 160. That's pretty.
yeah,
That's
it's
pretty
pretty
good for a
close.
debut. That's pretty good for a debut.
That's pretty close.
Yeah,
That's pretty close. I mean, go for the minus, go for Rodriguez.
yeah,
People aren't
yeah.
going to go for
Are you
Pitbull,
gonna are
but
you gonna boost that little bit of money? How you gonna decide this fight? I mean, 3 rounds here. How do you look at this one? I mean, man, I don't know.
oh, I don't know. Probably
Uh,
they'll probably end up going. They're featherweights. I don't
yeah.
know, man. I could be very very wrong, and this could be just over. Pitbull could just pummel this guy. I don't know, man. I
Mm.
could be completely wrong, but I'm gonna have to go Rodriguez decision.
You gonna go split, or you think it's gonna go all three? You gonna get an
Split,
unanimous split? Yeah, I
split.
agree. I think it's
Yeah,
gonna go split here. I mean, featherweights can go the distance. And you look at Yair's last fights, he's went 3-3-2, and then 5 with Holloway, really. The only one disadvantage was a first round TKO versus Ortega. But man, yeah, I'm gonna go split decision here. I'm gonna go Yair Rodriguez as well. I think I'm just gonna take that plus on that minus 160. Not a big betting favorite, just basically, half in your dollar here, basically. But yeah, I'm gonna go that way as well. Staying in the featherweight too, we got Bryce Mitchell versus John Silva. How do you feel? Excuse me.
yeah, I think,
Excuse me.
dude, I don't know. We don't want to like Bryce Mitchell, but I think Bryce Mitchell might take this fight.
Really? Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I'm gonna give it to Bryce Mitchell just because it's gonna be absolutely embarrassing if he doesn't get it. Everything, all the shit he's been talking, everything he's been
Yeah.
saying. If he doesn't get this dub, then he's just a flat out like I don't know, man. You gotta be able to talk the talk and walk the walk, And if this guy
True.
doesn't, he was talking about in the press conference, he was like he said something about like because Gene Silva he likes to do the barking,
Hmm.
and Bryce Mitchell was like, "I shoot dogs," and saying something like that, something crazy,
Yeah.
and the crowd was going crazy. And when you say stuff like that, like you got to be able to back it up, And the way
100%.
Bryce Mitchell's looking at this guy, I mean, Gene Silva's crazy. I mean, we were just talking about him, weren't we? And then
Hmm.
he ended up getting a KO. He ended up emoting on the guy and like pointing
Yes.
on the ground and was like, "I'm gonna knock you out here," and then just like bam, bam, and then just knocked him out. But Bryce Mitchell is a dangerous guy. Bryce Mitchell has fought Ilya Taporia. He's
Yeah.
fought
Emmett. Each. He's fought
yeah,
everybody.
yeah. You know, he's fought a lot of very experienced guys, dude. He has one of the only twisters in the UFC.
Yes.
He's you can't underestimate him. You know, you can't
Agree.
underestimate Bryce Mitchell, even though he is not a smart man at
Mhm.
whatsoever. He is still a UFC fighter, and he's still ranked for a reason. You know, his record is what 17-3. That's a
17-3. Mm-hmm.
that's a very good record for being in the UFC. You
Agree.
know, even for being a crazy man. You know, we have a lot of crazy guys in the UFC, and some of those crazy guys, that's the reason they're fighters. You know,
Yeah.
they don't make it out in the fucking regular world. That's why they do what they do. And Bryce Mitchell is one of those examples. And I don't know. I would like. I don't know. Bryce Mitchell. I don't know. He's the underdog, but
He
I'm gonna
is. He
give it to him.
is.
But Gene Silva, man, holy cow, is he a beast? You know, scratching on the cages, screaming at Bryce Mitchell's saying they're calling him a demon. There's some good blood. There's some good bad blood between these two guys. I hope it's an absolute performance, and no matter who wins,
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know. I just hope it's an absolute bloodbath. I hope if it's Bryce Mitchell winning, he beats the fuck out of Gene Silva, and I hope if it's Gene Silva winning, he
Yeah.
beats the absolute fuck out of Bryce Mitchell. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we'll see how because what was Bryce Mitchell's last fight? He fought Josh Emmett. He
King
had that
Green. King
seizure.
Green. King
King
Green.
Green. That was his last fight. Bryce Mitchell.
Yeah, King Green was a third round knockout, and then he had Emmett. It was a first round knockout. That was a loss there, but he beat Egan for unanimous decision, and Elio was a second round sub loss. So
And
his
then
last
no,
fight was King Green.
And then his last fight, no, he fought a Gracie. He fought a
Okay. Yeah.
Gracie in his last fight. He tried to pull guard, and he ended up slamming him down and elbowing him to the shadow realm. Is ended up what
Uh,
happened to him. But
mm,
yeah, he got knocked out, put to sleep by
yeah,
Josh Emmett. So we'll see
yeah.
how that damage unfolds. You know, because he fought a Gracie his last fight. You know, we all know what
Oh,
Gracie's
that's right. That's
like.
right. Grace. That's right. I'm so sorry. I'm not saying King Green here. God, because I'm never calling him King Green again after that bullshit he pulled. You know. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
King
no,
Gracie. That's right.
he
Third
fought a
round TKO.
Gracie,
Yeah.
and Gracies aren't really they're not really stand up guys. You know, they're
Yeah.
very ground heavy, and Bryce Mitchell wasn't having that, and he absolutely wrecked him. Well, we'll see what happens when he comes up against a striker again, and
Yeah.
that's Gene Silva. You know, we'll see what happens. What about you, man? Are you going with Gene Silva on this one?
No, you know what? I think this is a dog here. I mean, I like the competition he's fought. I mean, you can't go wrong with Silva though. I mean, 15-2 as well.
Hmm.
He's nasty, but I
Yeah,
mean, dude,
15-2.
that scare the shit out of me. I'm seeing a guy barking, scratching on the fucking cage. I mean, that's something to do with your mind trick there.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
you got to, just like you said earlier, man. You got to, you want to talk the talk. You got to walk the walk. He
Yeah,
can walk the walk,
same
but
for Gene Silva. You know, he's going to sit
yeah,
there and bark at Bryce Mitchell. He's got to
yeah,
show it. You know, he's got to whoop Bryce Mitchell's ass. You
yes,
know, shove
hmm
those words down Bryce Mitchell's throat. You know,
exactly. I'm gonna go with Mitchell here. I'm gonna take the
the
plus.
underdog.
What is it? We got 160 here. Was that what we're looking at? Plus 160 here. I'm gonna go with Mitchell. We got two dogs on the table tonight. I'm gonna go that way. How do you think this one though, man? I mean, listen,
I mean, Bryce
these
Mitchell has crazy ground game. I think if he can, he is bigger than Gene Silva as well. If he can
mhm.
use his strength and get Gene Silva to the ground, I think he can submit him. I think
Okay,
that's how Bryce Mitchell's going to get the dub. If not, they're going to go to decision, and Bryce is just going to control him the whole time. It depends on how good Gene Silva's submission defense is,
yeah.
or or Gene Silva's going to get the KO. I see the
Ooh,
fight going both of those ways. I think Bryce is either going to get a sub or the decision, or Gene Silva is going to go crazy and get the KO in the first or second round. Which, if he does, that really sets back Bryce Mitchell, and it's going to be very embarrassing for him. It's going to be embarrassing for either of these fighters if they lose, because, dude,
yeah,
imagine getting beaten by Bryce Mitchell, even after all the crazy shit he's been saying all year long. You know, that'd be so embarrassing. That'd be crazy. And then imagine being beaten by him again. Imagine losing to him,
yeah.
or him. Yeah, that's just crazy. You gotta knock him out.
Yeah, these are one of those things that, the playground, you just got beat by a bitch. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
very simple like that. Yeah, I agree with you. I do think Bryce Mitchell wins this. I do think it's going to go to a split decision. I agree with you. I don't think Mitchell's going to knock him out, though. I really don't. It's either
Yeah,
going to be
yeah.
a sub. He's going to find
He's
that
done it
release in a
before.
sub.
He's knocked out people
Yeah.
before, but I
Oh,
don't see
yeah,
him
yeah,
doing it
yeah.
this fight. I think Gene Silva's got the better striking. I think he's got the better stand up.
I do. I think it's going to be a ground game here. If you can win 2 of the 3 rounds, of course you win the fight. But I think it's going to be a lot of ground game here because Silva, like you said, the
Oh,
biggest thing is
actually.
his ground game. How is his defensive takedown? I mean, what do
So
you
his
think?
he's actually 50% on his defensive takedown.
Okay, okay.
And his striking is Bryce Mitchell's significant striking is actually at 73%, while
Damn.
Gene Silva's actually at 53%. But
Wow. Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
so but significant strikes per minute, Gene Silva has 5, while Bryce Mitchell only has 2
Okay. Okay.
strikes per minute. So there's
I
a
mean,
big difference between there. So Gene Silva's output is completely different than Bryce Mitchell's. Gene Silva's
yeah.
output is almost 2 to 3 times
Yeah.
as much as Bryce Mitchell's when it comes to the striking advantage.
Okay.
Bryce Mitchell has an extra inch of reach. That's really, dude. This is going to be a really good fight.
It
I'm
is.
very excited to see this one. All of the bad blood between these guys,
Mhm.
all the talk and everything. I'm very excited to see this one. I think this one's going to be very entertaining.
I like you said that. The 5-2 advantage there. I mean, listen, a guy that fucking scratches cages, man, he's got to come out and fight that way. He's got to set the tempo of this fight here because you can't let Mitchell dictate it. Because if he
No.
wants to, he has a striking at 70%. He can find the reach. He can get you. But the thing is, if he takes you to the ground, you can lose 2 out of 3 very easily. With his ground control. So I'm a man. I tell you what, man.
This might be a little off topic, but one thing that I think is very impressive is Ilya Taporia actually beat Bryce Mitchell by submission, which I think is very cool. I know it's a little
Yeah,
off topic, but
second round. Yeah, second round.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think that was very cool, which says a lot about Ilya Taporia and says a lot about Bryce Mitchell. Because
Hmm.
Bryce Mitchell's supposed to be one of the best featherweights,
Right.
to have jujitsu, and for
Ilya.
Ilya
Yeah.
Taporia to sit there, I don't
Yeah.
know, which is I don't know. I'm just talking. I don't mean to go off topic and start talking about Ilya Taporia,
Oh,
but
it's all good, man.
I
I
just
mean,
think that's very impressive.
it is. It is. To me, this is going to be one fucking hell of an entertainment fight. Either way, I don't know which
Yeah.
way, really, which way is going to go. I know this fight's going to be good because they're comparable. Size, reach, advantage there. Height wise, 5'7", 5'10", 3 inches to play here. But what gets me is, man, how Silva's going to come out with that 5'2", per minute strike ratio. There's thinking of strikes. Is he just going to come out and dictate the fight? Or is he just going to sit back and let Mitchell basically do what he wants to do? I don't know, but I'm still going to go. I'm going to go Mitchell here. I think it's going to be a decision, man. But you know what? I don't know if he's going to get that knockout though, man. Because if Silva puts a hit on him real quick, and finds that range, tests that jaw, Brian Mitchell might just go into defense here and just start, locking up basically for that grappling situation to win two of the
Yeah,
three,
if it
though.
gets dangerous for him, because CT he is a hell of a bitch, and
Yeah,
he didn't only just get knocked out by Josh Emmett. He had a seizure in the middle of the octagon.
yeah,
Because he got hit. That does
yeah,
things to you. You're only
yes,
human, and he got hit
hmm,
by a truck. Josh
yeah,
Emmett's the hardest hitting featherweight in the division,
yep,
and yeah, so we'll see what that does. Like we'll see what that
agreed.
does to a man, and we'll find out what happens when he fights another heavy striker like Josh Emmett. We'll see if he survives.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still going to go with Mitchell. I think it's going to be a split decision. I think Silva maybe can get that first round, but
Yeah,
then you're always going to be in the back of your mind, man. That when you get a concussion like that, I mean, a fucking seizure, dude, that shit plays because if you take one more hit like that, brother, a seizure is seizure, but you might be lights out for good. You know what I mean? So
yeah, yeah.
the mindset of that one there, but I'm still going to go Mitchell here. Of course, I'm going to go that way. Of course, there. Um, but how do you feel either way with Mitchell here being 17-3, Silva being 15-2? How do you see these guys moving up a little? Because either of these guys really are not in the top 10 right now.
I mean, Bryce is still trying to work for that belt.
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
kind of like scary to think
Yes.
of. But if he and that's the journey that both of these guys are on. That they're both young, they're both trying to work their way
Right.
up. This is Gene Silva's first ranked fighter in the division.
Hmm.
Um, if Gene Silva wins, he works his rank up. Bryce Mitchell comes down. It starts over for him. These guys are again, these guys are young, trying to go for the belt. They're
Hmm.
working their way up.
Agree. Agree. Yeah, with the featherweight here, none of these guys are ranked here. Bryce Mitchell's fought some big ass dudes. We've seen him fight. Of course, his matches here. He's not an upcomer. He's still been in the league for a while now. How do you feel about Leon Murphy, 16-0, the young kid that we talked about earlier, being
Uh-huh.
higher ranked than both of these guys? Is that deserving for a Murphy to be number 9 in this division
Yeah,
already?
because that's like Shavkat Rachmanov was like number 4 when he
Yeah,
was like
exactly.
17-0.
Okay,
So,
okay, okay.
especially if you have, Lerone Murphy has a couple of fights in the UFC. How many fights do you have? How many fights does he have in the UFC?
Who's that? Leon Murphy?
Yeah,
He's 16-0 right now. I think it's. I didn't even look at his UFC stats there, but I
yeah.
don't think it's
But
met.
if
What is
he's
it,
but
like 3 or 3 or something like that, right? If
uh,
that,
so he only has 3 UFC fights.
I believe it's either 2 or 3. I know he made his debut not too far long ago.
Okay.
It
All
actually
right.
might have been
Yeah.
the last fight. It might have been the last fight, honestly, for his UFC debut.
No, no, no. It wasn't his last
Was
fight.
it
He's
three?
been
Is
around for a
it
while.
3? Is it 3?
Here, I'll look.
Or am I going too low on that? I might be thinking of somebody else, honestly. Oh, look that up real quick.
Yeah, he's 16-0, and he
Yeah.
currently has no, he has a couple. He has one, two, three, four, five. Yeah,
Wow.
he's got
Okay. Okay.
5 UFC
Okay. Okay.
wins,
Wow.
coming
Okay.
against Dan Ige, Edson Barbosa, and
Ooh,
Josh Emmett. So he's
shit.
fought those 3
Okay.
people back to back. So that's probably why he is where he is on the rankings.
Yeah, he definitely did. I mean, those 3 fights right there coming out unanimous, decision, what not decision, but with the asterisk winning the win there. God damn, yeah, you should be in the
Actually,
top
he's
10. You
got more
should be.
fights than that. I'm wrong. I'm very wrong. So he actually has one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9 fights in the UFC.
Shit.
His first
Wow.
fight in the UFC coming in as a draw. His
Okay.
first fight in the UFC was actually against not against, but he it was the Khabib versus Poirier. So back when Khabib was fighting, so back in 2019 was when
Damn.
Murphy came in. So that's why he is where he's at. He's on a
Okay.
one,
Okay.
two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9 fight win streak.
Wow.
With
Damn.
which one, two, three, 4 of his last fights have come in decision.
Yeah.
Which is where it's like, hey, you gotta start being entertaining, man. Even though he's got
Yeah.
those names under his belt, he took those names by decision.
Exactly.
They weren't
Exactly.
unanimous. Like that last,
Exactly.
like Josh Emmett threw him around. Like
Yep.
even though he lost, Josh Emmett looked really good for his
Hmm.
age and for being Josh Emmett. But
Agree. Agree.
yeah, no, it's like the Shavkat Rachmanov. He's the same thing. Shavkat Rachmanov, he's 18-0 or 19-0 now, but
Hmm.
he worked his way up pretty quickly in the welterweight division, and Lerone Murphy's just doing the same thing.
Yeah, I love Rockman. I want to get that fucking headgear he has, man. I want to wear that shit all
Yeah,
around. I
yeah,
want one of those so bad. I've
Rachmanov.
been looking. Yeah, I want one of those so bad. But
Yeah, do you think he's gonna? You think he's gonna fight the winner of Madalena, um, Bilal Muhammad?
I mean, it should happen, right? I mean, it should happen. But
Yeah, he is the number one contender.
he is the number one contender. But you got to
Dude,
make
Madalena
make
Rachmanov
it.
sounds so entertaining. That sounds so fun. So does Bilal and Rachmanov. I think, honestly, if Bilal fought Rachmanov, I think Bilal would win.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I think, well, after what Bilal did to Leon Edwards,
Yes.
I
Oh
don't
God.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he would just do the exact same thing to Rachmanov. And unless Rachmanov got lucky and hit him,
Hmm.
where he needs to.
He's
If
got to catch him. He's got to catch him. Man. He's
Yeah,
got to catch him.
I think Bilal Muhammad might be one of the greatest decision fighting fighters in the UFC.
Yeah, I agree with you too. I mean, I want that fight so bad. I want to see it happen. But I want to move on to the co-main event here, man. Lightweight match here. I mean, your boy. I mean, I don't know what to say about this guy. This is your guy, Patty.
Yeah.
Michael Chandler versus Patty, the baddie here. 22-3 versus 23-9. Pretty, similar records here. But I'll let you go, man, because I think
Dude,
you're
this
not
is
gonna
gonna
stop
be
talking.
fun. I think Patty is the next Charles. I think he's the next Charles Oliveira with his
Really?
grappling and his striking. Yeah,
Okay.
and I will see. This is Patty's. He's been having test after test after test. Now he's finally fighting Michael Chandler,
Hmm.
and we'll see, man. Michael Chandler survived Charles Oliveira in his last bout.
Yeah.
Going 5 rounds with him, and there were times where he was on top of Charles
Yeah.
Oliveira in that fight, grounding and pounding, and
Mhm.
that says a lot. Especially when you're doing it to Charles Oliveira.
Right.
Granted, there's a lot of controversy to he was hitting the back of the head and all this
Yeah.
bullshit, but we won't get into that. He was still on the back of Charles Oliveira grounding
Mhm.
and pounding. And if he does that same thing to Patty Pimblett can get the L. But Michael Chandler is becoming washed up. Did take that time
Ah,
off because he wanted to
yeah.
fight Connor. He lost again, even though he looked really good against Charles Oliveira. He did lose. You know, and and you gotta look at the past couple guys he's fought too. He's fought the
Poirier,
best of the best in
Ferguson,
lightweight
Gaethje, and
division.
Oliveira twice
Poirier,
now. Hmm.
all
Yeah.
those fucking guys. And
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This is going to be very fun. We'll see what Patty Pimblett can do.
Okay.
This is like, is Patty Pimblett that guy? If Patty Pimblett can sit here and dismantle and get a finish over
Hmm.
Michael Chandler, Patty Pimblett may be that guy to go up and take on the Oliveras and the
Wow.
Sarukians and the Makachevs.
Wow.
I think this puts, if Patty wins, this definitely puts him into title contingency with those top guys. I
Yeah.
don't see him fighting for the title after this fight, but
No, no,
definitely,
no.
you know, in his next couple fights, if he wins them, he can definitely get there. Which,
Oh,
what do you
man.
think, man? Do you think who do you have winning this?
Jesus Christ. 4 out of the last 5 fights for Chandler, okay?
Yeah,
Disregard the losses, okay? Oliveira took him to the distance, just like you said.
yeah,
Got was in contention for this fight. Poirier lost third round
yeah.
sub. Ferguson won second round TKO. Then you have Justin Gaethje took him to decision. Lost in decision there. Oliveira lost in the second round TKO. The fighting credentials are there. You can't take away that. But God, man,
Well, so even though he's 4-5, he got fight of the night every one of those fights.
he did.
Performance of
He
the night
did.
every one of those fights. The
Right.
way he fought in those fights was like he fights like a gladiator. He fights
Yes.
like Justin Gage. Like that Justin Gaethje fight was one of the
Mhm.
greatest fights in the world.
Oh God, yeah.
Every one of his fights is one of the greatest fights in the world.
Mhm.
He's just he is correct. He says he is the most entertaining lightweight
Yeah.
in the world, and he's proved it time and time again. Everybody he's fought has just been an absolute entertaining bout, and we'll see if he can keep that up with this. We'll see if he can. I Dude, this is just going to be so fun. It's just going to be
I
so
agree.
fun tomorrow watching
I
this
agree.
fight. Like, I'm going to be on the edge of my seat, because we're going to see, like, okay,
Yeah.
Michael Chandler's Patty Pimblett is Patty Pimblett. We've seen Patty get rocked. We've seen what
Yeah.
happens when shit gets aggressive. But, Patty's came back, and I don't know. I don't know. It's just going to be fun, man. If Patty wins,
Uh,
then that says a lot about him.
yeah. I'm gonna go Patty on here. I mean, see, my only concern is just the track record of Chandler. I mean, he's fought everybody under the fucking sun. I mean, he's went through his division and fought the gauntlet of division here.
Yeah,
His division, but
the
he's
baddest division.
exactly that's what I mean. Just the record alone. Your losses, yeah, people look at losses. Oh, the fucker lost 4 out of 5. But fucking these people we fought, dude, like I wouldn't want to be in a ring with any of
Yeah,
these
the
fucking
people
people at
he's
all.
fought and the way
Yeah.
he fought them,
Exactly. And just like
you
you said,
know?
he's one fight of the night, he's a performance of the night. He's a gladiator, dude. He gets his ass fucking kicked, but he's
Yeah.
still there in contention no matter what. Still taking the 3 rounds, 5 rounds. That's the thing. But we know he has a jaw, man. But Patty, I'm gonna go Patty here. I'm gonna go Patty. I don't think Patty's do you think Patty can submit him? I don't think he can though.
Yeah, for sure.
You think he can? Okay.
I think he can. I think he can. I mean, we'll see. I mean, he could want to throw hands. He might want to make a point and try to throw hands and knock Chandler out. I don't
Okay.
know.
Josh, if you're in
Um,
the corner for Patty, is that a good decision? Do you want to hear your cut man, your trainer say, "Hey,
I
get out there and
mean,
throw hands with the fucking gladiator"? I don't want to see that, Josh.
I don't know, man. Whatever works, works, dude. I mean, this is Michael Chandler we're talking about. We don't, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Josh, you got a fucking warrior across the octagon from you. You really want Patty to your corner to say, Patty, just go out there, hey, show some fucking nuts here. Show your nutsack. Get out there and strike with this dude. Jo- I don't know, Josh. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
You
Yeah,
you look like a fucking dog in Chandler. You don't want to fuck with that guy. That's the thing, man. You don't. You
I don't
don't.
know. I don't know. Patty Pimblett, he's got the height, he's got the reach. I don't
Mhm.
know. I think Patty Pimblett can throw hands with Michael Chandler. I think he can. Charles Oliveira did. You
Yeah.
know,
Right. Right.
Charles Oliveira isn't. Everybody thinks he is one of the best jiu-jitsu guys in the game.
Mhm.
Submitting Gaethje and Poirier, but uh, Charles Oliveira in their first fight pieced up Chandler. He pieced him up really well, really good.
Yeah.
And
You're right about that.
Patty Pimblett, I think it's the same thing. I think we're going to underestimate Patty Pimblett's hands, and I think Patty Pimblett can outstrike Michael Chandler. I think he can hit him.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go Patty here because I think it's gonna be more on the ground. I don't see him standing up, strike to strike versus Chandler. I don't see that. I think
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
worst enemy if he does that. I think he's got to take him to ground because his ground man is a lot better than Chandler.
yeah,
Honestly, I mean he can submit him. I don't think it's gonna be a submission though because I don't think Chandler's gonna get in that situation. The veteran experience, fighting the big guys. I don't think he's gonna let that takedown or sub happen. I don't. I think it's gonna be a I'm going to give Chandler a round here. I'm going to go split decision on Patty the Baddies. I'm going to go Patty here.
Is this a
Yeah,
5 round fight?
I
Do
believe
you,
it's a
do you
three
know?
round fight. I think
Is it?
it's. I
I
think
mean,
it,
it's
I
the
think it looked on.
co-main.
It might be a 5 round fight, right?
It should be. It
Yeah.
very well should
Mhm.
be a 5
Yep.
round fight.
Gotcha. Joey checking. I think Patty's grappling will be the difference. Chandler doesn't have the best submission defense. I agree with that one too. I think if it's the best fight for Chandler to keep it upright, don't go to the ground. Of course, stay upright. Keep
Yeah.
throwing hands. For Patty, I think he goes to the ground here. I think he has a clear cut, advantage on the ground there. And just like Joey says, the submission defense is not the greatest. And if you guys get a chance out there, make sure you follow Joey. I've known Joey for almost 30 years now. He actually writes for Turnbuckle Times out there, wrestling, boxing. And Joey's given me the privilege to actually start writing for him for boxing and UFC events on there as well. So thanks for checking in, Joey. Appreciate it. Joey's favorite fighter is Conor McGregor. That's his favorite fighter.
Oh
Also,
yeah.
yeah, that's his boy. That's his boy. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna go split decision here. I'm gonna go Patty. But I want to get to something you said, Josh. Okay, Patty's not ranked in the top 10, is he?
Who?
Patty.
Patty? Is he not?
I thought he wasn't. I might be mistaken. I mean, I've been sick the last couple of weeks. I thought I might have missed his name in the top 10.
I'm not. Fuck. Let me see. Hold on. Hold on.
All
Give
right,
me.
you do that. You do that. You
Let me
do that.
see. I swore he was. There is no way he isn't.
Joey says I was a Connor band before it was cool. Yes, exactly, exactly, Joey. I know,
Honor
I
band
know.
before it was cool.
Before it was cool, cool. I
February.
didn't think he was, Josh. I did not think Patty was ranked
Yeah,
though.
yeah, he's ranked. He's number 12 ranked in the lightweight
Okay, see, okay,
division.
yeah, top
Yeah,
10 is
yeah,
not there yet. But you
yeah.
said, okay, if Patty wins this, where are you going to move him up, Josh? Because, Josh, this is a stacked fucking division, okay? You are going to move him up. Oh, how high are you going to move him up?
Well, Michael Chandler's number
9.
7,
Oh,
so
7, yep.
probably number 7. You know, if especially in the
Ooh.
fashion, like if Paddy Pimblett goes in there and gets a finish against Michael Chandler, then yeah, he's definitely deserves the number 7 ranked spot.
All right, so you want to switch spots, basically, just flip them pretty
Yeah,
much. You go,
yeah, yeah.
okay, okay,
Especially if
okay,
Michael Chandler goes on a winning streak, he definitely deserves to be in number 12.
okay.
Especially if he loses back to back to back, and then yeah, he deserves to be number 12. And Paddy Pimblett having his win streak in the UFC deserves to be number 7. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
no brainer.
Okay. If he wins, he pulls this off. Your boy Patty pulls this off. He moves up
Yeah,
to number 7 there. You got a gauntlet in front of you, Josh. Okay. You got Hooker, Poirier, Gaethje. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Oliveira, Tarsukian, Islam. What is next for him? He's got to prove his point before
Hooker,
we get in there, Josh. We got
Dan
to prove his
Hooker.
point first. Dan Hooker. Okay.
Because Dan Hooker called out of that last fight with Justin Gaethje. That
Right.
was his opportunity to work his way up in the lightweight rankings. Well, now he has to have somebody to fight, and it's either going to be Sarukian and Hooker, or it's going to be. I think Pimblett and Hooker would be very fun. I think that would be awesome. I think
Okay,
Patty would still win that one, and
gotcha.
then maybe Pimblett Oliveira sounds very entertaining as well. I think
Wow,
that's
that's
a
wow.
very entertaining fight.
I would love to see that one. But
Yeah.
Josh, I think in this division, man, this is the best fucking division in the UFC to me.
Yeah.
This
Well,
division here,
Patty's a young guy.
you got to
Yeah,
work
so
your way
this
up.
is the best division, but these guys are in their 30s now.
True, true,
Like
true.
that's the Patty Pimblett. How old is he?
It's like 20. What is
How old
he?
is Patty the Batty?
I know he's young.
30. He's born in
Okay, he's 30.
95.
Damn,
Michael Chandler, I think he's like 38. Yeah, Michael Chandler's
pushing
38.
40.
He's 2
Pushing
years from
40.
40, dude. And those other guys like Gaethje's 36, Poirier, he's retiring soon. Even those guys who have been holding that lightweight ranking, who've been in that top division of lightweights, those guys are getting old. And Patty Pimblett is one of those younger guys working his way up. In 6 years, these guys are going to be out of the division, and Pimblett's probably going to be following their footsteps. Where's Pimblett going to be when he's 36? Is he going to be like Gaethje at 36?
Agree.
Uh, in 6 years, Gaethje will be like 42. He's not going to be fighting in 6 years.
No, no.
Pimblett will, and yeah, I think this is going to be very fun, man. I think. I think Pimblett is one of the very few up and coming lightweight dudes. I think another one of those guys is Grant Dawson, who's like 19-1 or 19 and
Yeah,
two.
yeah, yeah.
He's another one of those younger guys coming up in the lightweight divisions. He's slowly coming there, and these guys got to be ready for him. These top 10 lightweight dudes have been fighting each other for the past like decade. It feels like.
Exactly. It's been a circle with these guys. I mean, you're running it back basically, and a year
Yeah.
later you're running it back again with someone you lost to or you defeated. But how do you think Patty? Okay, if he starts moving up, just like you said, he's one of the
Yeah.
young guns. In 6 years, six of these guys are going to be gone out of this division. Okay, we know that he's moving up. Let's just say he's sitting at number one contention here. How does he match up with Tarsukian or Islam? How does he match up? How does he match up?
I don't think anybody's beating Islam,
No,
in my
exactly.
opinion. I think Islam is the greatest in the world. I think he's the GOAT, even though
Hmm.
he's lightweight, even though he's lighter, and even though he has the one loss. I think he's the GOAT. I don't think anybody can beat him.
Agree.
Um, but I do see Patty in the future being a future UFC guy because, like I said, in 4 years, who's to say Islam Makhachev is still going to be fighting? Islam Makhachev is one of those older, not
Yeah,
older, but he is old. How old is he? He's 33.
33 right now.
So
Yeah.
so so they're around the same age. That's actually not that old. That's actually pretty good. But still, time will tell. We'll
Yeah.
see. I mean, we'll see what age does to Islam. We'll see what age does to Patty. We'll see
Mhm.
if Patty keeps getting the win streaks. We'll see if it all depends. We never know. But I think Patty can hold his own where he sits now. And if he wins this fight against Michael Chandler in good fashion, I think he has no problem fighting guys like Sarukian, Hooker,
Okay.
Gaethje, Oliveira. I think he's completely ready for those guys.
I agree with you. I think the best thing for him is he's really one of the youngest fighters in this division. Okay, age wise, of course, and a lot of guys are on their way out. These legends are going to be. They've already fought each other two or
Yeah.
three times each. They're going to be moving out. Patty, just by process of elimination, these guys are going to be gone in a couple of years. He's going to move up
Yeah.
no matter what. But yeah, I want to see him. Man, I really want to see. Now that you mentioned, I want to see him in Oliveira, man. I think that would be fucking
Yeah, yeah.
entertaining.
I think I've
That
been
would
saying that for a while. I
Yeah,
think I've been saying that for a while is Patty Pimblett Oliveira, just because both of the way both of them
technique
fight.
wise, yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
it's the same thing of Sarukian Oliveira. I think Sarukian would be a great fight for Pimblett as well.
I agree. I agree.
With Sarukian's flexibility and his grapple game, Sarukian
Mhm.
did win that fight against Oliveira.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I think that's another one that Patty can 100% get and can 100% do.
Yeah, I think if he wins this fight, he's probably going to move up to maybe 6 or 7 here. I think 7 will flip the script a little bit, going there, flipping spots. But I kind of agree with you. I think he might just get like What do you think about Poirier? Maybe a Hooker. You said Hooker, and what about
Poirier's
Poirier?
Poirier's retiring.
He's definitely
Um,
gonna retire.
yeah,
Okay.
he's been talking about retiring. He's gonna get one more fight, and he's probably gonna set up an easy fight so that he
That
can
yeah,
win.
that's what I mean. I mean, if he
Um,
fights him, he loses. Patty can fuck him up very easily. You know what I mean?
yeah, and I think they already tried to set something up like that, and
Yeah.
Poirier turned it down. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I think they already tried to set shit up like that, and
I mean, do you think Dana would pull something? Let's say if he moves up to 7 here. The Hooker would be the obvious choice at 6 and 7 to fight
yeah.
there to move up to 5 possibly. Would you put him against a Oliveira right away and say, you know what? Well, you're going to be, you win this fight. You're 23-3 here. You're one of our rising stars of the division. You're a media sensation. Everybody loves you. Show us what you have. You get knocked the fuck out. We're going to move you out of the top 10. You think it's right for him to get that spot against Oliveira right away?
Um,
See what he has? Because if he does win this, God, it's going to be Arman right there. Or he could fucking say, if Arman doesn't take the fight, he's going to be fighting Islam within the next year and a half.
no, because I think Oliveira's due. I think Oliveira because he just won against Chandler and Sarukian pulled out, so Sarukian's got to
Right.
restart.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I really don't know what's gonna because the lightweight division's so like weird with how they
Yes.
do events and things.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about that Poirier fight all the time. Poirier lost to Gaethje, bounced back with Saint Denis, and then got a title. Got a title fight. I don't know how that happens, but it's lightweight division. Pimblett's skipping over a couple names, man. He's working up number
Yeah.
12 to 7. He's skipping Fazayev, Moicano, Dariush, Gamrot.
Yeah.
Those are all dudes that again are older and trying to get back into the title contention, but
Mm-hmm.
might just end up being gatekeepers. I think Patty Pimblett being number 7 should probably go for Dan Hooker, especially since Dan Hooker called out of his last fight against Justin Gaethje.
Mm-hmm.
I think those top 3 guys or top 4 guys. I think Gaethje and Oliveira need to duke it out for the belt.
Okay. Okay.
I think they deserve that, and then whatever happens, then the winner of Hooker Pimblett,
Okay.
that's how I see it going. That's my bracket. Is like
I agree with you. I
Patty
agree with you.
beats Chandler.
Yes.
Patty fights Hooker. Patty beats Hooker. Patty fights the winner of whoever the fuck is in the higher rankings.
Mhm. That
But
that's
but
what I see, Josh. I think 1 and 2 Islam. If Arman can get his shit together and get that fight there, I like 1 and 2. Oliveira versus Gaethje. I think that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. If Hooker, if Patty wins this fight, I think that way. And it all comes down to seeding wise, because I think Islam's going to take that first fight, the next fight off to see who the contender is. Well, maybe we throw the winner of the 5-6 versus the winner of the 3-4, and they become number 2. And if Arman doesn't, if he fights Islam and loses, that 2 spot's gone. He ain't going to drop out of the top 10 if he loses to Islam. I don't think he drop that far at all unless you get fucked up that
yeah,
bad. But I think Patty has a really good shot within. Man, I tell you what, man, we're at 314 now. We're doing fighters are fighting
320,
yeah, I think even
three
before that,
twenty.
Josh. I'm thinking like maybe 319, yeah, 320 possibly. He might if he seems
Well,
he might
there's
have that
something we're
shot there.
forgetting. There's one thing we are forgetting, and we were just talking about him earlier. Is there's somebody coming for the lightweight division? Ilya Taporia. I
Oh
forgot
yes,
about that. All right, we
yes, you're
forgot
right.
about
Yes,
this.
you're right. Yes, you're right.
Paddy Pimblett and Ilya Taporia have bad blood, very bad blood already, and especially with Paddy Pimblett working his way up, and with me thinking that Ilya Taporia needs to fight a couple ranked guys before he goes for the belt, even though he's pushing like I need to fight the belt. I just vacated the belt. I need the
Mm-hmm.
belt. I think he needs to work his way up fighting low ranked guys. Um,
Agree.
Dude, Pimblett Taporia. That's a crazy one. That just hit my head. I forgot Taporia's coming in. He might have to fight him, which will be very fun. Patty Pimblett
Wow.
versus Ilya Taporia with already their bad blood before. They were throwing bottles at each other, cussing each other out backstage.
You're right. You're right. Man, Ilya comes to the division. Your first fight's against Patty. Damn, Josh, you're playing matchmaker all of a sudden, man. I like that. I
I
like
don't
that.
know.
I like
I'm
that
just
book.
like thinking.
No, I like that booking. I like that booking. Real quick, the odds there, Josh. Patty's
Yeah,
only a
what are they?
minus 148. That's it.
Who? Pimblett?
Yeah, he's only a minus 148 for a decision
That's
to win this fight
dude,
either way.
dude. That's so close.
That's a pick 'em to me, Josh. I mean, anything 150 and below is
Yeah,
really a pick 'em to me, man. It
that's
really
so
is.
close. It's
Yeah,
not even funny. Yeah, that is a pick 'em.
yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, I'm not going to go by odds on this one here. I'm still going to take Patty here. I think he's one of the young dudes here. I think he can do this, but I just hope his corner doesn't say what you said, Josh. Go out there and fucking strike with an animal, a warrior. I just don't want. I don't want to
That's what I
watch this
want to
fight.
see. That'd be a dream, you know. That's
No,
just
yeah, I want to see it too. I want to see this guy test his jaw against one of the baddest fucking warriors out there. I want to see that, but it's all about that W, Josh. You want that W, man. You want to stay away from getting clocked in the chin. You don't want to test it against one of these guys. So yeah, I'm gonna go Patty here. I think it's gonna be a decision. Was it a 3-round fight, Josh, or 5? Did we see that or no?
no. I don't think we said
You
it.
know
We
what?
said it should be. We hope it is,
It
but
should
I
be.
don't
Let
know
me
if
see.
it is.
Let's see here. Fight rounds. Let's see. Yeah, it's gonna be a 5-round fight. 5-round fight. Damn,
Yeah.
a
So
plus
I
a
have
plus 3,200, Josh. You want a plus 3,200 tonight?
a plus 3,200,
Plus
huh?
3,200. If Chandler can pull out a submission or TKO in the 5th round, it's plus 3,200.
That's crazy. I want to bet on it. I mean, I'll throw a dollar.
Yeah, right, right. $32 on a dollar. You
I
never
have
know,
a
man.
5-pick parlay
Okay,
here. I got Marco Tulio Silva in the prelims,
okay,
Julian Erosa in the prelims, Chase Hooper prelims, Sean Woodson prelims, and then Patty Pimblett in the main event. So that's one of my 5-pick parlays.
okay,
And
okay.
then I have an 8-pick parlay, which
Oof.
is Virna Jandiroba, Sean Woodson, Nikita Krylov against Dominic Reyes, Yair
Okay,
Rodriguez, Patty Pimblett, Chase Hooper, Julian Erosa, and Marco Tulio Silva. That's a 8-picker. That's a plus 18-14.
that's not
That's
bad, man.
yeah,
That's actually not bad.
that's a
That's
pretty
pretty
good
nice.
one. So I'm
That's,
going against on that one. I'm going against what I just said earlier with the Dominic Reyes fight,
yeah,
but
that's what I
I'm
was going to go
taking
back to
money
because you're
there.
going against that. You're going against that one there
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Listen. There's people who I want to win, and then there's people who I'm gonna bet on. Okay, so there's a big difference.
Okay, now last 2 weeks ago we set our picks, but Larry comes on, he takes a lot of picks. Our advice what we're going to pick, and we said that show, Josh, don't take Josh's pick because these
Oh
are
no,
hard
no, no,
picks. These
no.
are hard picks this week. How do we
Yeah,
feel about this week? Are we betting strategically or are we betting with the heart?
I always bet strategically every week, but I don't share that because just because. I always bet with my heart when I'm talking on here, when I'm talking on the pod. I always bet with my heart.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that didn't work out to me a couple weeks ago when my boy Ray got fucked up. Real quick, my Asian guy got fucked up. I went with
Yeah.
heart there, and you see what happens sometimes when you bet with heart. So I'm still living that one right there. But all right, let's move on to the main event here, man. We talk about fighters that's coming off losses here. Volkanovski, man, 26-4, 1, 2, 3 out of 5 losses here. Okay, coming in this here for the vacant title here versus Diego Lopes at 26-6. God, man,
This is another one that's close, dude.
wow.
What are the odds? I think the odds are
Looking
very
here,
close.
yeah, I looked at it yesterday. I was see how it changed here. Yeah, another minus. Volkanovski is only a minus 162. Lopes is a plus 136 for a win here. Either way, it's a pick 'em to
Uh,
me. I mean, it's a pick 'em
yeah, I
again.
didn't bet on it. I didn't put any. I'm so scared for this fight, dude, that I
Yeah,
didn't put it in a parlay. Like I didn't want
yeah.
to stack it on anything.
Mhm.
Like I bet on it on its own. I don't know, dude. This one's a very scary one because you want Lopez to win. He's the underdog
Yes.
because but at the same time, you want Alex Volkanovski to win. You know, and people think Alex is over, his reign's over. Lopez is going to knock him out. Lopez is going to finish him. Lopez is going to take him. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I've thought about this all week.
Yeah,
I've thought about this for a while.
yeah, John. This was one I actually stayed away. I did not put a bet on this one here. I put in one
Yeah,
yesterday, and I stayed away from this one. Just to hear your advice too, how you feel about it, because man, 3 out of his last 5, dude, his losses. I mean, second round TKO versus Ilya. Okay, Makachev fucked him up in the first fucking round. Okay, he take
yeah.
he beats Yair Rodriguez in a third round TKO, but then he loses. Then he takes Islam to unanimous decision, loses that one. He takes
That
Max
was
Holloway. He beats Max
crazy.
Holloway. Yeah, exactly. But he takes Max Holloway to the 5th round as well.
Yeah, that one
But
was.
Here's
I
the
don't
thing,
know.
Josh. This was interesting to me. From 2013 to 2023, Volkanovski went fucking 22-0. After that, he is fucking three losses and two wins in the last after that 22-0 run. Are we saying he's done? Is this
I
his
don't
last
know,
shot?
man.
Is this his last shot?
It's yeah. If he wins, he's. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, man, I've been thinking about this. Like, it's just so
Mhm.
crazy. Um, if he bounces back, he's the man. I mean, Islam. He lost to Islam twice.
Yes, yes,
One
yes.
in a janky decision.
Mhm,
everybody. I feel like everybody. I don't know. I feel like he won. I feel like Islam
mhm.
had the first two
Yeah,
rounds
I
and
agree
Volk
with that
had
one.
the
Yeah.
last three. I watched that fight live, and I watched it again after, and I
Hmm.
still think Volk won.
Yeah.
But then again, he got head kicked in the second fight. He lost twice to Islam back to back.
First
He came
round,
back. He came back, and then he beat Yair. Well, then he got knocked out by Ilia Topuria, which is the man.
second round. Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
so it's scary. We'll see. I mean, he could have the Izzy curse. Izzy hasn't come back. Izzy
God.
hasn't come back yet, and
Yeah. You're right. You're right about
we'll
that.
see, dude. We'll see. This is, like I said, this is just very scary because we love Volk. Volk is one of the best personalities, one of the best characters in the UFC. A great guy. Everybody loves him. I don't know, man. We'll see.
Yeah.
That's all I
This
can say about it. It's just a very scary fight.
this division is interesting to me. With the vacated title here, Volkanovski and Lopes, are going to duke it out for the title, of course. But before I ask you next what's going to happen here, how do you see this playing out? Because Lopes, man, I mean, this dude, he can go the distance. He can knock you out in the first fucking round. I mean, we've seen both, aspects of him. I'm going to go with the dog here, man. I'm going Lopes. I'm going Lopes here. I
Yeah,
think,
you're gonna go Lopez.
yeah, I'm going to go here, man. I'm going to go
Okay,
the
that
dog. I'm
makes
going to go dog.
sense.
I'm going to go dog.
Um, yeah, I went Lopez. I bet on Lopez.
Okay. How do you see this playing out, though?
I bet on Lopez. Decision. Taking him to the
Split,
decision.
split again.
Yeah,
Split.
split
Okay.
decision. I
I
don't know,
agree with you.
man.
I agree with you. I
I
agree
really
with you.
don't. I want Alex Volkanovski to win by knockout. I
Really?
want him to. I want him to lure Diego Lopez in, try to get him go for a takedown, and then rock him. I don't know. We'll see.
Oof.
Because I think
Man.
Volk is a heavy hitter. I think
Yeah. Yeah.
he's a harder hitter than Lopez.
Agree.
Um, I don't know. I keep saying I don't know. I keep saying the same words over and over again. This fight just has me completely flustered, man.
Yeah.
It just has me completely flustered. These guys are just very good. There's a reason that these guys are fighting for the title, and we know who Volk is. We know who Diego
Sure.
is. It's just time for them to just duke it out in the octagon, and the best winner gets the belt. I
Yeah.
really I see this fight being at 50-50. I don't
That's
know.
the way I see it. That's
I'm
what I.
very 50-50 on this one. I don't want Lopez to lose. I don't want Volkanovski to lose. So it's very.
You're not making it much easier for me. Yeah, I thought this was a pick 'em to me. I mean, this fight can go either way. I think the way I'll look at it is who has more to lose. It's Volkanovski, man. You know what
Yeah,
I
he's
mean?
got so much to lose, dude.
That's the
So
thing.
much to lose.
You got a shot here to win the vacated title. Based on you're coming off 3 out of 5 losses, okay, and you're fighting for the title here. You lose this to an up and coming guy, Diego here. You might be just considered like, okay, fuck you. You're on your way out. We're moving you. You're dropping you pretty fucking
Yeah,
fast.
he's gonna be fighting Josh
That's that thing.
Emmett, and
Yes,
he's gonna be fighting those guys.
that's what I mean. I think he has more to lose here. But then again, man, God, you know what? I might just be smart on this. I'm going to take Diego the dog. I think he wins it in decision. But I think my smart bet, even though it's only a what was it plus 136, not going to pay anything. Honestly, I might parlay this up, Josh, and I might go 4 rounds out of this fight here, and I
Mhm.
might take it first round, go past the first round, go past the second, go past the third, go past the fourth. I might play something like that because unless Volkanovski can fucking find his range and get him one time because he has the power, that's the only way I think he wins this. I think it does go decision, but I might just be smart and parlay it first 4 rounds, get out of those rounds.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty smart.
Excuse me. Okay. Now, here's what I want to ask you: if Diego wins this fight, he's the champ. Where are we going? Who's next in line for this title?
I don't know what's the featherweight rankings looking like right now. Let's
Well,
see.
you got Holloway at 3. You got Holloway still up there.
No, he's not in the featherweight no more.
That's right. What am I? That's right. I wrote that wrong.
He's moving up to lightweight. His last
I just moved
fight
up. That's right.
was when he fought
That's right. I got
Fury.
asterisk moving up. Move up. Okay.
Uh,
Well, you got
Deported. So you
Ortega,
have Evloev, Rodriguez, Ortega, Arnold Allen, Lerone Murphy, Aljamain
Pitbull's
Sterling,
in there, Murphy, yeah,
Josh
Allen's in
Emmett, Giga Chikadze,
there. Mm-hmm.
Calvin Cater, Dan Ige, Bryce Mitchell. A lot of guys are old, man. Like Brian Ortega, he's
That's what
win
I mean.
loss win loss.
Yeah.
Rodriguez is win loss win loss. I mean, we'll see after this Rodriguez fight. Fighting Patricio Pitbull. We'll see if Patricio Pitbull can work his way up through the
Well,
division.
let me ask you this: if Diego wins this vacated title, okay,
Uh huh.
he just beat Ortega in unanimous decision. Ortega's up there at number 5. Do you run it back with these two, being though it went the distance in 5 rounds? Does Ortega get the shot at the title?
No, Ortega's got to get a win. He's
Okay.
got to get a win. Like even he's got to get a win to get a title shot, man.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe Aljo can work his way up. We'll see what Aljo can do.
Hey, listen, I'm just go out of the box here. I want Leon Murphy or Pitbull, one of these guys to get a title because these guys,
You're a big
all the
Lerone
hype coming
Murphy
around.
fan,
Yeah,
huh?
all the hype. Yeah, I love this kid. I love him how he fights. I think he should just get up there and fight
No,
somebody. But I don't know, Josh. This fight. Austin Gordon says, "Don't count out Volk. You might come back hungry."
yeah,
Oh, what do you
maybe.
think? Maybe.
Yeah, I'm maybe about this fight, man. I'm so
Me
iffy
too. Me
about
too.
it. It's a very
Yeah,
very scary fight.
yeah. All right, real quick. I just want to run through them real quick, Josh, to make sure we got everything. Are you now? There was one you flipped on, versus your picks here.
Yeah,
Reyes versus Krylon. Which way are we going?
Reyes,
Okay, I'm going there too. All right, let's go to the Miller and Chase fight.
Chase Hooper, man, all day.
Me too. Me too. 100%.
Miller's gonna retire
You
tomorrow.
think he's going to retire? You
Yeah,
think?
Miller's
Yeah,
retiring tomorrow.
he's gonna put it down.
Yep.
Okay. Wow. Oh shit. Okay.
Especially if
Okay.
he loses, man. He's gonna lose.
Oh god. All right, Rodriguez versus Pitbull. Which way are you going?
Uh, Rodriguez,
I'm gonna go there too. We got both those. Ah, man, Mitchell Silva.
Mitchell.
Mitchell, okay. Yeah, I think we're agreeing on everything. And Volkanovski and Lopes, which we
Fuck.
already. Yeah, you know what? Save that to
Uh,
last. Save that to last. Let me
I'll
ponder on
go
that.
Volk, man. I'm gonna go Volk.
You're gonna go Volk,
Yeah, I'm gonna go
really?
Volk. Yeah,
I'm gonna go Lopes here. I'm gonna go Lopes here. I think he does do it because, man, even though he's fought some fucking Volkanovski's fought the whole fucking goddamn roster.
yeah,
I'm gonna go Lopes, but and you're taking Patty too, right? The dog, right?
yeah. I'm going Patty, man. I'm going Patty.
Okay. What's the fight of the night, Josh?
Chandler Patty all day. Chandler has back to back fight of the nights.
Be a main event, honestly. You think about that one, Are you there, Josh?
Yeah, sorry, you cut out for a second. What was
I
that?
might have lagged out for a second there for a second. Yeah, I did, man. This fucking breeze bullshit up here where I'm at. You know what I mean? They said I had the fastest speed. I called today and they fixed it, but it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Yeah, I'm lagging real quick, Josh.
It's all right. Yeah, I'm
I'll
going
be right
Volk,
back. I'm
man. I'm
lagging.
going
I'm
Volk.
lagging. Okay, you're going Volk. Okay. All right. So what is oh, there we are. Josh, what is your guaranteed fight tonight just to double my money?
Guaranteed just to double your money.
Just to double my money on that main event card. Which one is the
Shit.
best fight just to double money? If I got $1 left and I don't want to eat a couple noodles tomorrow, I want to, something different, a McDonald's double cheeseburger for $1.99. How can I get that? What one
Probably
fight?
Chase Hooper. There's a reason he's a minus 800. Bet the house. I mean, if you put what's the payout? What's the payout of $1 million on minus 800? Whatever
Oh
that
shit.
is.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, God, it's not going to be a lot, but $1 million. Who
No,
has a
but
million dollars?
still,
But
there's a
still,
reason
yeah.
he's a minus 800.
Yeah, I think that's definitely if you want to just not even double your money, plus that minus that amount. But what is it? You bet 1,000, you bet a dollar, you win 10 cents, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So you got to bet $10 to win a dollar, basically 10 to 1, disadvantage. But shit, yeah, I agree with that one too, with Josh, 100% there, 100%. So all right, I know next week, Josh, we'll be back to recap this event here, and we'll talk about. And the crazy thing is, Josh, we only disagreed on one event this week, Josh. You're taking bulk, I'm taking Lopes. That's the only one that's going to be going all the way through there. Let's see, here it goes. Youngblood says the young guy, and he's got Mitchell. He's going Mitchell.
yeah. I'm surprised you're going Mitchell, Paul. I didn't think you're a Mitchell fan, man. I thought you'd be going Gene Silva. I thought you'd be against me on that one.
You know what? The way I look at things, man. I mean, the record stands alone. You fought Gracie, okay? Just like you said, what he did in that shit, that was insane. And then Josh Emmett, Age, and then Eli Topuria. I like how he's fought. I like how he's done. But Silva, man, I mean, fucking 3 straight TKOs, first round, third round, and second round. I get that, but I gotta go with Mitchell here, man. I do. It's just some feeling that I have here, man. I'm
Yeah,
gonna ride with what you're doing on there. Yeah, I'm gonna ride
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
Austin said he's got his thing up. Bet the
Bet
house
the
on
house
Mitchell.
on Bryce
Wait,
Mitchell being the
wait,
underdog.
wait. What was the odds on that Mitchell fight?
I
Let me see.
think it was minus 220
Wow,
whenever I
no,
bet on it.
no. If he's taking Mitchell, he's taking the dog, and he's a plus 160 on that bet right there.
Yeah. Oh, 160. He's a 160 now.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
plus
he was
160.
220 a couple of days ago.
Shit. I mean, is Vegas know something here, going from 220 to 160 now? I mean,
Maybe, dude.
should we curious to see how that drops anymore? It's dropped 60, credits already. I was curious to see by tomorrow if there's something
I
out
don't
there,
know. Maybe that shooting dog speech did something to Vegas. I don't know.
Put a little scare in there, a little betting
Yeah,
momentum there.
yeah. Try.
All right. Hey Josh, I appreciate it once again. Sorry for having me lag it out because they said they fixed shit here. They haven't fixed anything yet, of course,
Yeah, man.
So yeah, we'll be back next Friday night to talk about UFC 314. Give our what the hell we seen, how many times the judges fucked up an event here, about again, which we always see, of course, Josh. But any departing words this week, Josh?
Nah, man. Fucking take her home, Paul.
Definitely, definitely, guys. My name is Paul. That is Josh. This is Inside the Octagon on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, on Out of the Box Sports Entertainment. Guys, we will see you next week. Everybody out there, be safe this weekend. If you're out there drinking, driving, please don't do that. Call an Uber or have a designated driver, whatever you got to do. Stay safe. So, my name is Paul. That is Josh, and we'll see you next week, same time, same place.